Magandang umaga, magandang tanghali, magandang hapon po, Pinnacle Village. Tayo po ay pumapasok sa isang mensahe na maganda hong dagdag sa turo po ni Pastor Edwin nakaraan pong Sunday sa paghahanda po ng taong 2026. Huminto ho tayo sa ating seremona ng profile ni David sapagkat gusto nating diinan po ang mga importanteng leksyon sa paghahanda ho ng taong 2026. Maligayang nanigong bagong taon po sa bawat sa husari, sa lahat po na nanonood, nakikinig po sa atin dito po sa FB Live. Tayo po ay sisili po at mag-aaral po sa buhay po ng isang kilala na isang karakter ho sa Biblia. Hindi ko alam kung nabasa niyo po ang kanyang aklat. Ito po yung The Prayer of Jabez. At makikita niyo ho dito, ang isang prominente po patungkol sa mamang ito ay dahil po he was not an ordinary person. Pangkaraniwan ho siyang tao, but he made his life extraordinary. And the question is, paano niya ginawa yun? Imagine ho, sa ating babasahin pong teksto sa unang kroniko, sa Kabanata 4 ho, 2 verses lang po yun. But sa mga pangalang pong nabanggit, approximately 600 pong pangalang pong nabanggit at patuloy po na walang katapusan, biglang huminto po at pinakilala ho ang kaisa-isa hong mama na pangkaraniwan po na kinikwento ho doon at nabanggit po ng Biblia. God singled out one man for special recognition. A divine shout out nga ang tawag doon eh. This man deserves special recognition and honorable mention. Bakit to? Ang tanong ko siguro, bakit po extraordinary po itong si Jabez? Wala naman pong nabanggit na kanyang ari-arian, wala pong nabanggit na makapangyarihan, wala pong nabanggit na katulad po ng David na isa pong hari, o meron po siyang mga tauhan po. Walang special talent pong nabanggit po ang Biblia. But siya po ay nabanggit ho sa lahat ng napakaraming pangalan at napaka-importante po kung ano po ang sekreto ho ng mamang to. He was singled out. Ano bang significant thing na ginawa ho ng mamang to? And I guess pag ang tao ho nabanggit ang pangalan yon and singled out sa napakaraming pangalan ho ng mga taong pwedeng banggitin, ang tanong ho, ano bang kanyang ginawa? Yun ho kadalasan po ang tanong. Katulad ng sabi ko kanina, he was an ordinary guy. Normal na taong makikita mo sa ating paligid. But what made this guy different? Basahin po natin sa unang Kroniko 4, 9 at 10. Sa Tagalog po, may isang tao na ang pangalan ay Jabez. Kagalang-galang siya kaysa sa mga kapatid niyang lalaki. Isipin niyo, nabanggit po na meron siyang mga kapatid na lalaki. Wala akong nabanggit mamaya po pag binasa natin na meron siyang tatay. Dapat may tatay, pero wala akong nabanggit pong Biblia. Pinangalanan siya ng kanyang ina. Anong tawag po? Jabez sa Ingles, maaring sa Tagalog po Jabez. Dahil sinabi ng kanyang ina, labis akong nahirapan sa panganak ko sa kanya. Kung isipin mo, ano bang naranasan? Pangkaraniwan po yung isang babaeng nanganganak talagang nahirapan sa panganak. Mayroon pong konteksto po kung bakit po binigyan ng pangalang Jabez, which means pain or sorrow, ang kanyang anak na si Jabez. Sa verse 10 po, tingnan niyo ho dito, nanalangin si Jabez o Jabez sa Diyos ng Israel. Anong kanyang panalangin po? Pagpalain niyo po sana ako at palawakin ang aking nasasakupan. Samahan niyo po ako at ilayo sa kapahamakan para hindi ako masaktan at dininig ng Diyos ang kanyang kahilingan. Isipin niyo ho, 2 lang pong verses po ang nabanggit doon. Pagpapakilala ho, parang itong biography po ni Jabez. At katulad ng sabi ko kanina, what made him so distinct, what made him so unique was his prayer life. And I guess I want to believe that his prayer was the key to his life. Yan po ang nakatulong ho para maging katangi-tangi po itong si Jabez. Kaya nung pinakilala ho ng Diyos sa atin sa Biblia po, ang nangangalang pong Jabez, walang nabanggit muli patungkol sa kanyang ari-arian o sa kanyang pamilya maliban sa kanyang nanay, hindi nabanggit ang pangalan. May mga kapatid na lalaki pero nabanggit na pangalan. Walang nabanggit ho na pangalan ng kanyang tatay. Hindi yung katalinuhan o anumang gift meron siya o anumang lakas ho siya. At doon mapapansin ho natin na ang itong taong to, ang naging key sa pagbabago ng kanyang buhay ay nung siya po ay in desperation po nanalangin sa Panginoong Diyos. Gusto niya magbago ang kanyang buhay dahil po dala-dala niya ho yung pangalang Jabez. Isipin niyo, di ba, kadalasan pag binigyan ka ng isang pangalan, Base ito sa kanong katangian ng taong yun, lalo na ho sa lumang tipan. Kaya nga ho, nanalangin po si Jabez sa Diyos ng Israel. He chose to call on God. He did not allow his circumstances to define him. Kung ano man po ang narinig ng maraming tao patungkol sa sinasabi ng kanyang nanay dahil sa kanyang pangalan na Jabez, pain, sorrow. At ayaw niya ho yung maging magdidikta ng kanyang kinabukasan. His prayers defined him. He was honored by God simply because he prayed. He prayed a secret and simple but bold prayer. At ang tanong ho, ano bang hiningi niya sa Panginoong Diyos? At maaari po sa ating pong nakikinig ho at nanonood ngayon, ito ho yung pagsimula na naman ho ng 2026. Maaaring hindi ho natin nagawa itong nakaraan pong mga araw dahil sa Kapaskuhan. Alam mo yung abala ho ang bawat isang tao. At makikita mo yan kahit saan ka magpunta. Kagagaling ko lang ho ng Dubai. Grabe, kahit na it is a Muslim country. Grabe ho, abala ho ang mga tao, kita mo. At minsan tanong mo, ano ba ang dahilan ng kanilang pagiging abala? At dito ho, maganda lang sa pagsimula ho ng bagong taon, nagbibigay sa inyo ng panibagong pag-asa na may mangyayaring bago sa akin. New Year, New You. At maganda hong ating pong silipin at aralin po ano ba ang laman sa dalawang verses po na panalangin po ni Jabez na maaaring makatulong po sa atin sa pagsimula ho ng bagong taon 2026. Kung may katabi ho kayo, pwede bang batiin po ng Happy New Year, Happy New You. Doon ho tayo magsimula ho, tatlong bagay po na hiningi po ni Jabez sa Diyos. At ang una ho ay ang a desire for change o sa Tagalog po hangarin na pagbabago. At dito tayo magsimula. Hindi lang siya humingi para sa ibang tao. Actually, wala siyang hiningi. At maaaring sabihin ng ibang tao, napaka-selfish. Ano bang magandang Tagalog doon? Napaka-masarili mo. Wala ka man lang panalangin para sa ibang tao. Humingi ka para sa sarili mo lang. And minsan ho, kinakailan natin pong humingi sa Panginoong Diyos, lalo na ho pag pinag-usapan po yung ating buhay sa taong 2026. And lagi pong may hangarin po sa atin, Lord, gusto kong magsimula anuman ang aking nakaraan, anuman ang aking pagkakamali, anuman ang gusto kong mangyari na bago sa aking buhay, posible ho yun. At si Jabez, alam niya na isang makatutulong sa kanya ay ang Diyos na kayang magbago ng buhay ng sinuman. Bagong taon, a new year, a new you. At minsan po, ang temptasyon ho sa atin, bawat isa ho sa atin, lalo na pag malaki ang kinakailangang pagbabago sa buhay, okay na ako. Kasi pag hindi ko natupad yung aking gustong gawin na pagbabago, nagigilty lang ako. Nangako ako mag-gym, nag-try ako ng ilang beses pagkatapos noon, ayoko na. Nangako ako magpapapayat ako. Pero dahil sa sarap na mga pagkain at mga natirang pagkain sa holiday, tumbang lagi kang may cheat day nga. Yun ang tinatawag nila hanggang wala na. Natapos na ho at hindi na nagpatuloy po yung ating mga goals for the new year. And maybe you have made some excuses and you have justified, okay, na hindi mo na ituloy kung ano man ho yung hangarin mong pagbabago ng 2025. Maaring bata pa naman ako, marami pa akong chance na magbago, o matanda na ako, hindi na kaya. Parang ito na, kung kontento na ako dito. Mahirap magbago. But I guess, ang maganda ho sa pagbabago ng taon, bagamat din ho ating iniisip at tentasyon ho, hindi na ho magbago ulit at magsimula muli. Parang kanta yan, magsimula ka. Okay ba yun? So a new year, a new you. Yung ating you version of 2025, maging you version of 2026. Pinakal-Veles, there's something powerful about turning the calendar to a new year. This is the right time for us to make changes that are long overdue. This is the time when we feel this is the perfect moment to turn over a new leaf. Ano man po yun, physical goals. Ano man ho yung hindi na natuloy ho nakarang taon, kita mo maraming nag-enroll. Okay, nagsa-sign up po sa isang gym. Yung nga lang, sabi nila, after several weeks, nagdi-decline na uli yung numbers ng mga nagpupunta sa gym. So kung kayo ho, kasama ho doon, pasensya na, hindi ako nagpaparinig to make us feel guilty. But pwede naman alam ko na yun, naranasan ko din naman yan O kaya spiritually ho, meron kang goals this year. para sa pamilya mo, hindi lang para sa'yo. Okay? Para sa mga anak mo. As a family, me and my household, we will serve the Lord. O maaaring matagal ka nang kinakaugnay ng Panginoong Diyos patungkol sa iyong commitment pag Sunday to be more consistent on regular every Sunday. Pumunta lang mas maaga, hindi darating ho ng late. Hindi ako nagpaparinig. Maaaring katotohanan lang ho talaga yon. O ano man pong spiritual goals natin, sana ho itong pagsimulan ng taon, maganda hong masimulan muli. Ito man po ay sa pagsusulong po ng iglesia sa magitan ho ng ating pagbibigay at pagsuporta financially. Ito man po ay sa ating kariro, pag-aaral, ano man ho yun. At ang buwan po ng Enero ay magandang panahon, ideal time na magsimula muli. At ito po yung kwento ni Jabez. Muli, balikan natin po ang unang Kroniko 4:9. Sabi ho sa Tagalog, pinangalanan siya ng kanyang ina na Jabez dahil sinabi ng kanyang ina, labis akong nahirapan sa panganak ko sa kanya. Hindi ko alam kung ano iniisip ni Jabez nung lumaki na siya, naunawaan na siya, pinaliwanag na kung ano ibig sabihin ng kanyang pangalan. Hindi ko alam kung nagtatampo siya sa nanay niya, sa lahat ba naman ng pangalan pwede ibigay? Isipin niyo ho yun. Ngayon, pagandahan lang pangalan, minsan nga hindi lang isa, dalawa. Aking dalawang anak, talagang dalawa-dalawa pa ang pangalan. Ang sinigurado mo na hindi mapapahiya sa mga kaklase na paglaki, na ang pangalan nila pwedeng pagtawanan. Eto ho yun, posible yun ho ang kwento niya. Imagine yun po ang binigay na pangalan po sa kanya. Walang masyadong detalye. Ang alam lang ho natin, nung binigay sa kanyang pangalang Jabez, which means he causes pain. His name meant the son of my sorrow, pain, and affliction. At maari pong yun ho ang, alam mo yung ating pong dinadaanan ngayon, you look back or you look today and you don't like your present. Yung pangkasalukuyang buhay ho natin, hindi ho natin nagugustuhan po, parang alam kong meron pang pwedeng mangyaring mas maganda. At sa buhay po ni Jabez, maaring sabi nga nila, hindi naman dahil sa nahirapan sa panganak po ang nanay. Kasi lahat naman ng babae, pwedeng pangalanan po ang kanilang anak na Jabez kasi wala namang daling panganak. Hindi ho madali. Hindi ako babae, pero nakita ko yun sa aking misis na ako takot na takot. Nung pangalawa na, parang sabi ko, Lord, tama na. Yung una nga, isa lang ang gusto kasi sabi ko, mahirap pala maging babae. Sabi ko, mas may advantage pala na bibiro lang ako ang lalaki. Pero kumbaga, ang punto ko is, hindi madali. At yung pagbibigay ng pangalan sa best, hindi dahil nahirapan sa panganak kasi lahat ng babae nahirapan sa panganak dahil meron pong dinaanan po yung kanyang nanay. Kaya po, maaring yun po ang circumstansyang parang nagdulot po sa kanyang nanay para bigyan ng pangalan pong Jabez. Ito pong kanyang anak. Hindi lang po dahil may physical pain, but maaring merong difficulty or emotional wound sa nanay po, sa nangyari po sa kanya. And maybe his mom was blaming him for her difficult life. At maaring yun din ho tayo. Nawala rin pa, posible po ang kanyang self-esteem. Imagine mo yung habang lumalaki, ay, Jabez, pain. Ay, mga ko. Hindi ko, ako kasi, tumunto ako sa pangalan ko, Alexander. Kaya pag ako tinatanong ako, tapos ang apelido pa, Alex. Saan nang galing yun? Napaka-unique naman nun. Alexander, Alex. Alexander na nga, tapos Alex pa. Parang I'm so proud of my parents giving me the name Alexander. Alex. At ano man ho ang ating dinadaanan po ngayon, ito po ang sekreto po. Hindi ho natin kinakailang pahintulutan pong ating pangkasalukuyang sirkumstansya na magdikta ng ating kinabukasan. At yun po si Jabez. Out of his desperation, he prayed this prayer called today as Jabez's prayer. He began to ask God for something significant to happen in his life. He was not asking for prosperity here. He wanted more than just being materially blessed, like winning a lotto or anything. Walang ganon. Panalo mo ako sa isang loto. He wanted something more. He was asking God to change his life, his future. And he came to God and he became bold. Muli ho, sa unang Kroniko 4:10. Sa Tagalog ang sabi, nanalangin si Jabez sa Diyos ng Israel. Nung sinabi ang pagpalain niyo po sana ako. Isipin niyo ho kung anong ibig sabihin ng pagpalain niyo ako. Sa iba ho, laking material ho yan eh. At pwede naman kasi na humihingi siya ng lupain sa Panginoong Diyos. Makikita ho natin yun kasi he was asking God to enlarge his territory. At he was asking God, unang-una po sa lahat, to bless me. At sa Hebrew po, ang word na bless is the word barak. Yan si Barack Obama, hindi Barack, which means to kneel or to get down on eye level with someone, and then from that position on being eye level, it means that that person will bestow or impart a gift to another person. At yan po ang kinakailangang ilarawan po ng paglapit po ni Jabez sa Panginoong Diyos. Lord, bless me. He was kneeling down to his Father in heaven, getting an eye level. God getting an eye level with his child, extending his arm to embrace his child and offer his child a gift. So makita ho natin that Jabez here was asking for God's divine favor upon him. At yun po ang konsepto po ng bless me sa lumang tipan. Si Jabez, bilang isang Hebrew, most likely, alam niyo ang kwento, dapat, bilang isang Hudyo, alam niya ang kwento ni Abraham, ni Isaac, ni Jacob, at saka ni Moses. At makikita ho, maari niya doon sa kanyang mga binasa, bahagi po ng lumang tipan po, na how the Lord was able to bless these people, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Moses. At yun po ang kanyang konteksto po, when he was asking God to bless him. Sa bagong tipan naman po, ang word na bless comes from the Greek word eulehio. Eulehio, from which we get our word eulogy. And it means to speak well of or to praise. That when we consider the New Testament understanding of the word bless, which is the idea of eulogy connected to it. So maunawaan natin kung bakit po si Jabez lumapit sa Panginoon, Lord, bless me in desperation. Dahil meron po siyang reputasyon of being a burden or having brought pain to his mom. And maybe to all in the family. Meron pong isang parang madilim na karanasan ang kanyang nanay po sa kanyang panganganak kay Jabez. At merong stigma hong kasama sa pangalang Jabez. So dito po lumapit po siya sa Panginoong Diyos. He was asking God for good things to be said of him. He was asking God to remake his image by having good thoughts toward him and good words to say about him. He wanted God to make him into the kind of person that people could speak fondly of and positive about. Kaya humingi po siya ng pabor sa Panginoong Diyos sa sinabi ng, Lord, bless me, O Lord. Help me become a person others speak well of. At yun, umaanin yun po ang napakinggan po na alam mo, yung mga kanikwento sa kanya, nabasa po sa lumang tipan si Jabez, lalo na ho ang kwento ni Jacob when he was wrestling with God. Because even Jacob refused to let go until God promised to bless him. Basahin lang ho natin, no? Genesis 32, 24 hanggang 28. So Jacob was left alone. A man wrestled with him till daybreak. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip, so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Naalala niyo yung kwentong yun, yung wrestling po between God and Jacob? Sabi ng verse 26, then the man said, let me go, for it is daybreak. But ano ang sagot ni Jacob? Ang sagot po ni Jacob, but Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Alam niyo ho, sa unang punto, maganda ho siguro sa pagsimula ho ng 2026 yung Lord, in my desperation, I want some things in my life to change. No more excuses, no more justification. Maring hindi ho sobrang laki ng pagbabago, but maliliit po. Okay? Yung sinasabi ho ng iklat ho ng Atomic Habits, yung 1% better each day. Hindi kinakailangan pong 25, 30, 50, 100%. Imposible naman ho yun. But isa-isa hong bahagi po ng ating buhay. Kapag si Jacob po, ang naalala po ni Jabez, yun po yun. Si Jacob, ang sabi, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Verse 27, the man asked him, what is your name? Anong sagot ho ni Jacob? Jacob, he answered. Then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel. Yan na ho yung pagbabago ho ng pangalan because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Kita ho natin intimacy here between Jacob and God. Silang dalawa lang ho ang nag-uusap ho dito. You can see here the passion and intensity between the two of them. And Jacob was bound and determined that he was going to have an encounter with God that will result in him being blessed, in him being changed. At yun ho ang pwede ho natin gawin. Katulad po ni Jabez, si Jabez nga lang hindi nagbagong pangalan pero ho, grabe yung kanyang panalangin. Okay? Hindi binagong pangalan pero yung kanyang pong bold, small but very significant prayer was enough to change the direction of his life. At maaaring andun ho tayo sa ganung klaseng sirkumstansya po sa pagsimula ho ng bagong taong 2026. Hindi naman sinasabing, Panginoong Diyos, pangalanan, bigyan mo ako ng bagong pangalan, yung nanay ko, yung tatay ko. Ayaw ko yung pangalang binigay sa akin. Gusto ko yung mga Frederick. Gusto ko yung mga William, Elizabeth. Diba? Kumbaga, kaya minsan, nung tatalunan namin kung ano maging pangalan ng mga anak namin, sinigurado namin na, alam mo yun, Bethany. Kasi naman ko ng Alexis kasi base sa pangalan ko. Yung isa, Maharlika, para Pinoy na Pinoy. Paalala sa kanya na hindi siya Kano, hindi siya Amerikana, hindi siya puti, kundi siya po ay isang Pilipino. And maybe today, sa inyong pakikinig ho ng mensaheng ito po ang hangarin ng puso mo. At habang nakikinig ho kayo, kinakognay kayo ng Panginoong Diyos, ano nga ba ang gusto kong magbago sa akin? I want to experience what Jabez experienced. I want to experience what Jacob experienced. Hindi nagbago ang pangalan, kundi nagbago ang kanyang buhay. And maybe you're saying, Lord, I want a future, a new you. I want a new direction for my life. I want the dark cloud removed from my reputation. I want to be totally dependent on you. And he recognized that the source of any transformation, of any real change, not because of willpower, but God's power. Friends, Pinnacle Village, ito ang tinuturo sa atin po sa pagsimulan ng taong balik ho tayo sa Diyos. Sa lahat ng ating pagsumikap na baguhin ang ating mga sarili, baguhin ho ang ating asawa, baguhin ang ating mga anak, at baguhin kung sino sa ating paligid, unahin mo natin ating sarili. Humingi ng kapangyarihan ng Panginoong Diyos. Ano man ho yun, muli sa ating buhay mag-asawa, are you improving in your marriage? Hindi pa pwedeng matagal na ho kayo mag-asawa, na karanasan pong nangyayari. Alam niyo yung tapos na yung honeymoon stage, habang tumatagal yung pag-aasawa, nagiging malamig ang kanilang pagsasama. Sana ho, bilang manampalataya, yung God factor, yung librong Love There, maging sobrang totoo ho na nahihirapan ka, marami ng sakit na naranasan sa pagsasama at marami ng nasabing masasakit na hindi makalimutan. But maybe this is the time, 2026, the month of January, to come to God and say, Lord, ayaw ko na magbigay ng label, ng excuses, or any justification not to change and not to be transformed because you are the God who's able to change hearts and lives, God who's able to transform lives, and we come to you and ask you to bless us. At ito yung pangalawa, a desire for impact. Sa Tagalog, hangarin na impluensya. Balikan natin ang unang Kroniko 4:10. Sabi ho doon, nanalangin si Jabez sa Diyos ng Israel. At yung una ho nating nabanggit, na pagpalaan niyo po sana ako. At ito yung pangalawa niyang panalangin. Lord, palawakin mo ang aking nasasakupan. Kumbaga, ang ibig sabihin po ni Jabez dito, who was asking God, sa ibang translation sa English, to enlarge his territory. In essence, he was praying that God would expand his borders. Because during that time, having more land could be interpreted to mean more wealth or prestige. But I don't think Jabez was praying for prosperity per se, or possession, but for production. That when you think through it, more territory would mean more responsibilities for him, and more opportunities for service. That more land would mean practically more influence and a greater capacity for impact. PB, friends, Jabez was not asking for more to possess, but for an opportunity to possess more in order to produce more, to influence more people. He was not after yung pangolekta, accumulating more, Lord, bahay, kotse. I'm not saying masama ho na humingi ng material na bagay. But hindi yun ang hinahangad po ni Jabez. He was not after collecting things or even land just to be able to live an easy and comfortable life. He wanted to make an impact. It's not about personal ambition, but kingdom expansion. He wanted to be a blessing. And the more important thing about being blessed is why do you want to be blessed? Bakit mo gustong pagpalain ka ng Panginoong Diyos? Naalala ko po ang Genesis 12 verse 2. Naalala niyo yung kwento po ni Abraham. Sa Tagalog, basahin ko po Genesis 12. Lalo ho yung verse 2. Gagawin kong isang tanyag na bansa ang lahi mo, sabi ng Diyos kay Abraham. Pagpapalain kita, I will bless you. At magiging tanyag ang iyong pangalan. Bakit? Sa pamagitan mo, marami ang pagpapalain. Jabez wasn't praying, give me more, Lord, so I can take it easy and live a life happily ever after. No, 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 no. Siya po ay nananalangin po, Lord, gamitin mo ko. Unatin mo ko itong taong to para po sa atin. I want my life to matter. May kausap po isang kaibigan lang, umuwi ho ng Pilipinas, patay na ho yung kanyang tatay. Ang ganda-ganda ho ng buhay niya. Ang dami niya ng mga plano. Minsan sinasama pa ako sa plano niya. Kung saan-saan pupuntang mga lugar, sabi ko, hindi mo na ako pwede ng buhay mo. May sarili akong buhay, may sarili akong panawagan. May one time, sabi niya, lipat tayo ng Portugal. Ha? Okay. Baka nakalimutan niya pastor ako. Ano gagawin ko sa Portugal? Kasi mas, mababa daw ang gastusin sa sa Portugal. But hindi ho yun lang ang isip ko eh. Siguro sobrang gaan ako ng buhay niya. Financially, talagang hindi niya na kinakaya magtrabaho kasi pumapasok lang pera sa kanya. But hindi ho yun ang panalangin po ni Jabez. His prayer was, Lord, unatin mo ako, gamitin mo ako. I want my life to matter. I want to work more and produce more. And evidently, Jabez looked around at the circumstances of life and he said, I believe I was born for more than this. Hindi na lang ito. Hindi na lang kung anong ginagawa ko, kayamanan ko, ari-arian ko, yung trabaho ko. I believe God has more for me than this. And if God does, I want to get it, Lord. Yun na lang ho, bilang isang pastor siguro, it breaks your heart to know that there are people who are looking forward to retirement. Okay naman. Bakit? Ang tanong lang, bakit gusto mo na mag-retire? To do less? O dahil gusto mo na mas mahaba at maraming panahon para makapagsilbi sa Panginoong Diyos? Tutuwa na lang ho ako sa atin po, I'm not promoting Pinnacle Village, but I belong to this church. But I see our people now dedicating their lives that after retirement, instead of just going somewhere else and retire and live a life free of responsibilities, know what they're doing right now? Nakikita ko po yung, yung inako nila pa ang paninilbihan sa church. Okay? Nag-aayos ho ng mga bulaklak po, ng garden po sa PBCLA. Nakikita ko ho yun. At sa kanya-kanya pong church, maaaring yun po. Naghanap po ng paraan para magsilbi. Hindi lang ho yung mamahinga. Hindi lang ho yung magbiyahe-biyahe. At nakikita ho natin yun. Jabez was not looking to do less. He was looking to do more. He was not looking to slow down, but he was looking to God to speed up. Meron pa siyang gamit, hindi pa ako matanda. And basically, he was saying, oh God, expand my opportunities and my impact in such a way that I can help and touch more lives for your glory and do more for your honor. He was thinking beyond personal comfort to align himself with forwarding and expanding God's kingdom. It was a prayer for stretching and growth. While Jabez's friends most likely were satisfied with being average, sa kanya, Lord, I want to be more than just average. I want to be extraordinary. I want to do something significant in my life. And he was saying, I don't want to just be ordinary. Hindi ho makasali ang kanyang panalangin. Nakita naman ho natin, sinagot ho ng Panginoong Diyos ang kanyang panalangin. Because He wanted to do something significant, his life to matter. Not only because he wanted his life personally to be great and to be special. At yun hong sinasabi ko, it breaks our hearts to witness so many people who would go through life just drifting, wala siyang motivasyon, wala na siyang ambisyon. At yun nga ho, minsan na sinasabi sa ating mga manampalataya, ang Christian, nung nakilala ang Panginoong Diyos kasi Christian na siya, wala na siyang ambisyon. Wala nang pangarapin. Okay siya sa loob ng church, pero sa labas hindi na siya okay. Hindi naman lahat kinakailangan mag full-time. All I'm saying is, sana ho, ang Lord, pahintulutan tayong mag-succeed sa labas, but hindi natin nakalimutan yung core o sentro ng ating buhay ng Diyos. And the only reason we want to be successful outside because we want to be a witness. The world that is so dark and so messy, that the only way for them to get to know God is to the lives of people they see around them, at work. Saan man ho tayo yung bang, bakit kakaiba ka? Bakit ang payapa mo? Alam kong may dinadaan ng problema, anong sekreto mo? At sana yun ho ang maging kwento ng ating buhay sa taong 2026. Hindi lang yung tipong andyan ka lang, you're floating with the crowd. But Jabez was different. Sinabi niya, Lord, ayaw ko na ganyang klaseng buhay. Again, I want to do something you've never done before, and I want you to do it in my life. He wanted to be a kingdom builder. He wanted more and more opportunities to serve the King and His kingdom. Alam niyo bang naandun po yung sa Colossus 4:3-4, yung opportunity binibigay ng Diyos? Sa Tagalog lang po, basahin ko. Ipanalangin nyo ipanalangin nyo rin na bigyan kami ng Diyos. Si Paul po ang nagsasalita ho dito sa church po ng Colossae. Sabi, ipanalangin nyo rin na bigyan kami ng Diyos ng ano? Ng maraming pera? Sana all. Ipanalangin nyo rin na bigyan kami ng Diyos ng pagkakataon, ano? Ano po yun? Maihayag ang mensahe tungkol kay Kristo na inililihim noon. Ilan sa inyo ang naglilihim, nagtatago? Baka naman this year, baka naman, isa sa atin pong hiningi sa Panginoon, bigyan mo ko ng pagkakataon ang pangalan ni Kristo ay makilala sa aking opisina, sa aking pamilya, sa aking mga kaibigan. At ang sabi niya ho, ang pangaral ko tungkol dito, ang dahilan ng pagkabilanggo ko, ipanalangin nyo na maipangaral ko ito ng mabuti, gaya ng nararapat. Friends, Pinnacle Village, what are you asking God for? Pagbabago katulad ho ng ating unang punto? O yung pangalawa pong ating hinihingi sa Panginoong Diyos at pwedeng hingin natin ngayon pong taong 2026, ito hong buwan ng January, hingin na natin, Lord, I want my life to matter. It's not business as usual. Because Christian life is about growth, expansion, stretching, and new territory. It's always constantly asking God, Lord, iangat mo naman ang buhay ko. I want to learn something new. I want new challenges. Hindi status quo sa Christianity hanggang wala ng buhay at ineffective na ho tayo. 2 Peter 1 verse 5-8 sa English po. Tingnan niyo po yung dapat ang buhay natin may pagbabago. Sabi ko nga, kahit 1% better every day. Si Pedro, sabi niya sa 2 Peter chapter 1 verses 5-8, you need more than faith. You must also work hard to be good, even that is not enough. For then you must learn to know God better and discover what He wants you to do. Next, learn to put aside, tingnan niyo yung parang increasing. Learn to put aside your own desires so that you will become patient and godly, gladly letting God have His way with you. This will make possible the next step, which is for you to enjoy other people and to like them. And finally, you will what? You will grow to love them deeply. The more that you go on in this way, the more you will grow. Ilang beses nabanggit po yung word na grow. You will grow strong spiritually and become fruitful and useful to our Lord Jesus Christ. Kasi yung gusto ko lang ibahagi sana at sabi ni Pastor Gina nga, ikwento mo lang yung mga ilang updates. Mayroong isang short video kong pakikita mamaya. But yung bilang isang pastor ho na kasama sa rotation po sa Europe at sa Dubai, nakita ko po yung pagbabago ho ng ating church. Salamat sa inyong mga panalangin. Nagsimula kami 2021 sa Europe at nakita namin yung hirap po ng pagsimula ng gawain. Yung alam bahay-bahay lang kayo nakikita ho at alam mong may mga pangit na experience yung mga dumadalo galing po sa iba-ibang churches. At yun hong pinakamahirap pong simulan. To look for people who will volunteer and serve. It was challenging. But we don't have much time. But nakita ko po itong taong to. Sabi nga ni Pastor Gina, grabe ano, magtanim ka na magtanim. And eventually, meron kang ani na maranasan. It was not easy. Mahirap po ang gawain po sa Europa at kahit po sa Dubai. But nakita po natin yung katapatan ng Panginoong Diyos nung ang church ng Pinnacle Best naging missional. At ang puso ng mga tao po, unti-unting na pupunit po na alam ho nila the church doesn't exist just for themselves. But the church exists to remind them again and again that we exist as a church. Because the people outside the church and we want to make an impact. Recently ho, may mga pumunta hong kapatid ang galing San Francisco at nakita ho nila ang malaking pagbabago. Kahit ako nagulat ako eh. Sabi ko, resulta ito ang pagdadasal ho. Misology tayo, ang pagbuno ho ng mga churches. Nakita ko yung sakripisyo po ng mga, nakita ko po yung vision casting ni Pastor Gina. Nang ulit-ulit niyang sinasabi, we have to be missional. We are a church that is missional. Alam niyo ho, events nagbunga. Nung unang pagtitipon namin ng ilang taon, halos kulang kami sa mga second gen na dumadalo ng church po sa Europa. Alam niyo ho, gulat na gulat kami just recently, after ng aming Couples Convergence, yun kahit yun po, yung ex sa movement ng Diyos na hindi ko maintindihan, na ginalawan ho kami ng Panginoong Diyos. At marami ho tayo activities po ginalawan ho ng Panginoong Diyos. But ako ho, witnessing what the Lord was doing right in front of me. And I was saying, Lord, hindi kami yun, hindi si Pastor Bea. And maybe it is God's perfect timing to just forward the work in Europe and to add more people who are new because people are now missional, more missional. And we have a group of second gen na maaaring makikita niyo sa larawan humamaya na mga kabataan pong nagtitipon-tipon. Meron po kaming tinatawag na PBXP. Kasi twice a month lang po sa isang on-site gathering sa isang mas malaking lugar sa Paris at twice a month po sa Netherlands. Meron po tayo sa Côte d'Azur. Pag may pang-5 linggo, doon kami pupunta o kaya po sa Parma, Italy. But nakakatuwa lang po yung pagdadagdag ng Panginoong Diyos ng mga bagong tao po. At maging sa Dubai ho, yun din pong nangyayari. The Lord has just given us people for us na alam kong yun po ang gusto kong pagsilbihan natin na binigay ng Diyos sa atin. Siguro para lang humabigyan kayo ng konti pong ideya ng nangyayari po, lalo na sa Europe. Next time na ako magkikwento ng more on Dubai, panoorin na itong maiksing video.
My name is Ray, and I've been married to Nemi for almost 27 years now. We have 2 kids, and I recently retired.
We've been in the church, San Francisco, since 2000 when I came here, and since that time up to now, we've been part of the church. Going to Europe this year is actually not in our calendar. But Pastor Alex came here sometime in August, and he just casually invited us to join him for the couples convergence. And the Lord really wanted us to go to Europe, and I know the Lord has given us that opportunity to also be given an opportunity to visit the work in Europe.
I'm at a stage now wherein I'm no longer that excited about going here and there, sightseeing and all that, unless it's for solitude, rest, or visiting relatives. But Nemi reminded me that our life on earth is really we don't know how much we have left on this earth.
Yeah, I was not interested to go to Europe because I feel like it's just another city. So unless I put mission into it, I know that I will just feel tired going there. And but then I know that if you will put mission into the places that you will go, it will make it more purposeful and meaningful. it's more challenging, the work there. So I know there's a lot of learning and unlearning, and there's less workers to support the church. So that's my expectation. But I think the highlight of our trip there for me was the people. I was pleasantly surprised because I don't know any one of them in Europe, but when we met them, they're very warm and very hospitable. And when we were in Paris, we met some brethren who are still fixing their papers. They found the church as a hiding place. That's where they could find comfort and support from the brethren. So I feel like the church is a hiding place for people who are looking for hope, looking for God. And so we could not give up fighting for the church.
Even though they're small, we were able to pass on our ethos here. That's why, as Nemi was saying, it seemed, although we just met them, we felt welcome. Of course, hospitality is not something intrinsic just to us. It's part of our culture. But as Nemi said, with the mission included in it, despite their work, their challenges, they made time to host us.
In any way that we could really support them, whether that's in prayer, encouragement, or help them in the work. I hope that we will really do that.
Going there reminded me that the work is indeed global. And because I see a work that's pioneering, it reminded me, of course, when we were first starting here in San Francisco.
I think it's very important. It will help you appreciate more the work that the Lord is doing in other parts of the world outside the U.S.
I'm Joanne and my husband Alex. We've been married for 24 years this
month.
January 22nd. And we're blessed with 2 boys.
Pastor Bro Alex and I have been talking, and he's been asking us or inviting us to go with him to visit other churches as well.
And so it was a very fruitful trip. Not only to minister to them, actually I was ministered by them.
One of the reason to go there is to help with the work, to be able to be a blessing to the people there. We were blessed too. We left that place also blessed, and it was a huge privilege to see those couples there. I personally believe that this is also a mission field. So trips like this is important because you get to see the people firsthand, their experiences. You get to see what they've been going through, their challenges. You come back with refresh, heart is full.
Naalala ko po ang halimbawa po ni Josh at saka ni Caleb. Ito ho, familiar sa inyo kasi lagi ho namin naituturo at nagagamit po yung Joshua 14. Hindi na ho sila mga bata. Okay? Makita ho natin na sila po itumanda na bilang mga sundalo po sa isang bagong teritoryo. Ito pong sabi ng Joshua 14 verses 6 to 12. Remember what the Lord said to Moses about you and me, sabi po ni Caleb, when we were at Kadesh Barnea. Si Caleb po ito, asked Joshua, I was 40 years old at the time. Sa kanila, bata pa yon. Sa atin, pag 40, matanda ka na. And Moses had sent us from Kadesh Barnea to spy out the land of Canaan. I reported what I felt was the truth. But our brothers who went with us frightened the people, discouraged them from entering the promised land. But since I had followed the Lord my God, Moses told me the section of Canaan you were just in shall belong to you and your descendants forever. Now, as you see, from the time on until now, the Lord has kept me alive and well for all those 45 years since crisscrossing the wilderness. Isipin nyo, ilang taon na ho siya noon? Nabanggit naman ho dito sa ating babasahin, he was 85 years old. Ilan sa inyo 85 na? Ilan sa inyo 50 pa lang pero mukhang 85 na? Just kidding. Nagbibiro lang ho ako. Hindi yan ni Kayla. Okay, I was 85 years old. Look at verse 11. Grabe yan, no? I am as strong now as I was when Moses sent us on that journey. And I can still travel and fight as well as I could then. So I'm asking that you give me the hill country that the Lord promised me. You remember that as spies, we found that Anakim living there in great old cities. But if the Lord is with me, I shall drive them out of the land. And maybe some of you, okay, right now are saying, parang katulad noon, tandahan na ako. Tinanggap mo na yung excuses na ang edad mo, parang sinubukan ko na lahat. Pagod na rin naman ako eh. And you have made and have given so many excuses. But pwede ba tayong makinig ho sa pagsimula ho ng 2026? Ang Diyos ho may layunin po sa ating buhay, sa kanyang kaharian. At nasaan man ho kayo ngayon, maybe ho magandang panalangin po, Panginoong Diyos, I'm asking you the same prayer that Jabez had. That you will give me a larger territory, that I'm not satisfied with the status quo. I don't want to be complacent. I don't want my life not to matter in becoming ineffective. I want to ask you, Lord, to move the boundaries and borders of my current spiritual condition and even ministry. Sa pagpasok ko ng ating taon pong 30 as Pinnacle Village sa April po 2026, we're praying po that the Lord will enlarge our borders. Kaya ko naman ho ipinasok po yung kwento ho ng Europe at nakwento ko ng konti in Dubai dahil gusto ho namin kayong imbitahan. Ito pong 30 years natin pong anniversary 2026, we want you, if God will permit, if God would give you an opportunity to visit our churches in Europe, in Dubai, in America, in Australia. At kami ho, talaga namang nagpa-plan na hong pumunta dito sa celebration po sa Pilipinas ng 30 years sa summit. But we're asking you to go and to help our work. May mga schedules na ho ang summit ho. Again, if God wills and will give you an opportunity to come and join us, please do. Sa Europe ho, itong May na next year. Sa Dubai ho, bandang June yung summit po, although mainit ho doon. But we're praying that the Lord will allow us to grow more. We're praying that the Lord would allow us, Pinnacle Village, to stretch more. To give us more. To be able to make an impact to a world that the Lord has given us to impact. Yun ho yung pangalawa. At ito na ho yung panghuli at pangatlo, a desire for His presence. Sa Tagalog po, yung hangarin po sa presensya ng Diyos. Balikan ho natin unang Kroniko 4:10. Ano pong sabi po ni Jabez sa kanyang panalangin? Lord, samahan niyo po ako. Wala yung Lord doon ha. Samahan niyo po ako at ilayo sa kapahamakan para hindi ako masaktan. Actually, dalawa pa ho yung panalangin. Actually, hindi lang po presence but protection eh. But ito na lang kung gusto kong diinan natin panghuli. A desire for His presence. Sa NIV po ang pagkakasabi po sa NIV sa English, let your hand be with me. Yung kamay mo. Kailangan ko nagabayan mo and keep me from harm so that I will be free from pain. The hand of the Lord is a biblical term for the presence of God. I'm reminded of Acts 11 verse 21. Sa English po, ang sabi ho dito, when they wanted to accomplish God's mission for them. At ang sabi ho na sa verse 21, ito ang sabi ho nila, si Luke siyempre nagsulat po ng Book of Acts. The Lord's hand was with them. Yun ang sekreto ng kanilang pagministeryo at kanilang mission po nung panahong yun, umaabot po sila sa labas. The Lord's hand was with them and a great number of people believed and turned to the Lord. Meron ho tayong Tagalog translation po, Gawa 11:21. Ang kapangyarihan ng Panginoon ay nasa kanila at marami ang sumampalataya at nagbalik loob sa Panginoong Diyos. When we ask for God's mighty presence like Jabez did, like the early church in the book of Acts did, we will see a tremendous thing that can happen in our lives when we know the hand of God is with us. Kaya yun po ang panalangin po ni Jabez, O Lord, let your hand be with us. Friends, Pinnacle Village is all about asking God for His favor. Yung paggagabay mo sa amin, lalo itong taon 2020, sila sa yung takot ho. Kung ba ang graming uncertainty, meron kong fear of the future of what is gonna happen sa iyong career, sa iyong marriage, sa iyong mga anak na lumalaki na, o kaya malayo yung mga anak mo, ano man ho yun, yung takot mo. Lalo na ngayon, sa dami ng kwentong nahihirapang makapaghanap ng trabaho. At parami ng parami yung nakikwento po, lalo na po sa Bay Area, San Francisco, na ang kalaban nila ay AI. Yung wala kang seguridad ng trabaho mo, naghahanap ka, naka-isang taon ka na, magdadalawang taon na, at takot ka na itong 2026. Lord, sasagot ka ba? Sasamahan mo ba ako? At meron po kayong iniisip pong gawin po sa iyong business. Meron kang pinaplano 2026. Ang importante ho dito po, yung gabay ng Diyos sa atin. Lord, I want your favor, I want your guidance, I want your power to be with me. And Jacob recognized that, yeah, I want to be blessed. Yes, I want to make an impact, but I need your presence to be with me. When Jabez asked God this prayer, let your hand be with me, this was huge. Jabez wasn't just asking for more. He was asking for God's presence in it. It's one thing to ask God for a bigger life. It's another thing to admit that, Lord, hindi ko kayang mag-isa ito. Na kung pahintulutan ng Panginoong Diyos to expand His influence, kinakailangan niyo po yung gabay po ng Panginoong Diyos, because more responsibility means more challenges. More opportunities means more risk. And Jabez was not interested in going it alone. In other words, ayoko ng tagumpay na hindi naman kita kasama. At yun ho yung ating nabasa po sa aklat po ng Gawa o Acts 11. They were saying, hindi ito yung galing ng strategy kung paano umabot sa mga tao sa labas. It's not because of our talent or anything na magaling ako. Ang sekreto ng lahat ng ginagawa ho natin at pagsumikap, kahit po bilang isang church, ay dahil kasama natin ang Panginoong Diyos. In Psalm 127 verse 1, ang sabi ng psalmist, sa English, unless the Lord builds the house. Ang sabi ng psalmist, the builders labor in vain. Sa Tagalog po, kung wala ang tulong ng Panginoon sa pagtayo ng bahay, sa pagtayo ng business, sa pagtayo ng pamilya, sa pagtayo ho ng iyong career, ano man po itong tinatayo nating bago sa pagpasok ng 2026, sana yun hong ating panalangin, Lord, hindi ko kaya to. Hindi ako magaling. Okay? Kundi kailangan ko ng tulong mo, gabay mo. Yung pintong bubuksan mo, alam kong galing sa'yo. Sarado mo ang pintong hindi para sa akin. At yun po yung salmo, kung wala ang tulong ng Panginoon sa pagtayo ng bahay, walang kabuluhan ang pagtatayo nito. Kung wala ang pag-iingat ng Panginoon sa bayan, walang kabuluhan ang pagbabantay nito. And maybe that's your prayer for 2026. Lord, to be able to do something significant, something very unique, and I want my life to be changed, to be transformed, to take something new, to rest something new, whatever it is. And maybe what you needed, or what you need rather, to add dun sa panalangin po natin, Lord, gusto ko po ng iyong gabay, ng iyong presensya sa taong 2026, sa aking business, sa aking career, in the ministry, in our church, sa pamilya ho natin, at maging sa ating marriage. Naalala ko rin, sa Exodus 33, when Moses was about to enter the promised land after 40 years, Moses was talking to God. Pakinggan niyo ho at basahin natin kung ano pong sinabi po ni Moses sa Diyos. Moses said to the Lord, "You have been telling me, lead these people, but you have not let me know whom you will send with me. You have said, I know you by name. You have found favor with me. If you are pleased with me, teach me your ways so I may know and continue to find favor with you. Remember that this nation is your people." Anong sagot ng Panginoon sa verse 14? Basahin ho natin. The Lord replied, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Tumahimik ba si Moses? Anong sabi ni Moses po? Verse 15. Then Moses said to him, if your presence does not go with us, ano sabi niya? Do not send us up from here. Hinanap ko po ang Tagalog ng verse 15. Sinabi ni Moses sa kanya, kung hindi po niyo kami sasamahan, huwag niyo na lang po kaming paalisin sa lugar na ito. Sana ganun din po tayo. That His presence matters the most. It's not just simply my success and my pursuit on whatever I want to do for year 2026, but I want God's presence direction and favor to be with me. Kaya sa verse 16, anong sabi doon? How will anyone know that you are pleased with me and with your people unless you go with us? Question mark yun. What else will distinguish me and your people from all the other people on the face of the earth? And the Lord said to Moses, I will do the very thing you have asked because I'm pleased with you and I know you by name. Moses knew that without God's presence, they will amount to nothing. It is all meaningless. Their labors will amount to nothing. On a personal level, I want to talk to us. Meron ka na lahat ng bagay po. Tagumpay sa iyong career. Ito na yung nakaraang mga taon, yung lahat ng gusto mong mangyari, naganap na ho. Ang iba ay makapagbiyahe, makaikot kung saan-saan. Yung meron ka ng listahan na mga gusto mong puntahan. May mga pictures ka na ng mga lahat ng mga lugar na ideal puntahan. Okay naman ho, hindi naman ho namin sinasabing huwag na kayong mamasyal. But siyempre, alam niyo ho, yung importante yung hindi lang nakita yung lugar, kundi meron kang journey. The heart is journeying with God. And the mission is intact when you journey outside. Hindi lang ho isang bahay o malaking bahay, hindi lang pera ho sa bangko. Hindi lang po sa mga pastor o sino man pong ministro o ano man pong workers, not just a growing church. Eventually, all these things will fade. And we know that is to be true. Problema lang ho talaga, our hearts are prone to wander and think our lives are okay, but the truth is, it is empty. It's vanity, sabi nga ni Solomon, that without God and His presence will amount to nothing. And Pinnacle Village, nasaan man ho kayo ngayon, nakikinig po at nanonood po. Kayo man nasa Europa, nasa Amerika, sa iba ho na maaaring nanonood po online, Australia, at maging sa Pilipinas, at Middle East. Sana po ang ating desire for 2026 is not only the Lord to change us from within, not only to give us an opportunity to make an impact, but also to His presence to be with us. Sapagkat ito po yung bahagi ng panalangin po ni Jabez, to do the impossible. But to be able to do the impossible, kailangan po natin yung kamay, gabay ho ng Panginoong Diyos. That the impossible becomes possible. It's talking to God by the hand and saying, okay, Lord, ikaw na. I let go of my desire to lead my life, to manage my own life. Pwede bang itong taong to, Lord, I'm very dependent on you. Suko na ako, Lord. Ginawa ko na lahat ng magagawa ko. Tutunan ko na, naunawaan ko na, binigyan mo na ako ng maraming challenges sa buhay to make me understand I cannot do it without you. Sobrang laki ho nun. Sa ating pagtatapos po sa unang Kroniko, 4:10, anong sabi niya? At dinig ng Diyos ang kanyang panalangin. And maybe this year as we begin 2026, nagsisimula pa lang ho tayo. Pwede ba tayong manalangin with sincere hearts for His presence to accompany us as we enter this new year 2026? May this year be extraordinary year for us. Personally, in our own families, in our church, Pinnacle Village. May this year God rewrites the stories of our lives from just being ordinary to becoming extraordinary, from accumulation to impact, from status quo, from being satisfied, from being mediocre to becoming God's best. Bago tayo manalangin po, tayo po'y umawit muli at ating pong isukong ating buhay, ating pong namnamin ang bawat salita ho na napakinggan ho natin. At habang tayo po'y umaawit po, let's just come before God and once again surrender our lives to God in the year 2026.
Jesus, we worship you.
This is my desire to honor you, Lord, with all my heart. I worship you. All I have within me, Lord, I give This is my desire to honor you, Lord, with all my heart. I worship you, and all I have within me, Lord, I give you praise, and all that I adore is in you. Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul. I live for you alone. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake. Lord, have your way in me. Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul. I live for you alone. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake. Lord, have your way in me. Lord, I give you my heart, I give you my soul. I live for you alone. Every breath that I take, every moment I'm awake. Lord, have your way in me.
Panginoon, maraming salamat po, Diyos, sa iyong mensahe, paalala, paghahamon sa amin para sa taong 2026. Tinataas ang aking sarili. Hinihingi, Panginoon, Ama, ang pagbabago kahit maliliit, unti-unti. At hinihiling, Panginoong Diyos, na ikaw ang siyang gumalaw sa mga bagay, lalo na hindi ko kayang baguhin. Ayaw ko na ng labels, ayaw ko na, Panginoong Diyos, ng pibigay ng limitasyon sa iyong makagalaw sa aking buhay. But hinihiling aming Ama na ikaw po ang siyang malayang makagalaw sa aking buhay, sa aking pamilya, sa aking marriage. Ikaw maging hari, ikaw maging Panginoon, hindi ang aking sarili. Lord, tulungan mo rin ako, Panginoon, itong 2026 ang aking buhay magkaroon ng impact. To matter, my life to be significant. Naging maliwanag, Panginoon, ang purpose ng aking buhay. Ito man ang pagsilbi sa loob ng church. Mapagkaroon ng mission sa labas ng church, Lord God. But I want to ask you, O God, that my life will just make an impact. That you would allow me, O God, to just look up to you and give me the power to be able to do the mission that you have given me and given us as believers. Ganun po, Panginoong Diyos, aming Ama, alam namin na marami kami kinatatakutan sa 2026. Hinihingi, Panginoon, ang iyong presensya, ang iyong kamay, na siyang sumama, Panginoon, aming Ama. What is seemingly impossible will become possible. We trust in you, we focus our eyes on you. Lord, we need your presence, your power, your hand to be upon us. Salamat po na marami, O Diyos. Bawat isang narito sa bawat kahiligang hinihingi, bawat panalangin, Panginoon, aming Ama, na nanggagaling sa aming mga puso. In our desperation, O God, once again we call out to you. Lord Jesus, please intervene, move, and hear our prayers today. Salamat po muli, iniibig ka namin, sinasamba, pinasasalamatan. Ito po ang aming panalangin sa pangalan po ni Jesus. Amen at Amen.